I'm going to put out a bench warrant for your arrest.
You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm propria person.
Okay, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense.
I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace, and
sir.
I'll travel. I don't drive.
Okay.
I have no contact.
Sir, here's what we're doing, Mr. White.
All right, folks, buckle up because we've got a wild one today. A no-nonsense judge is about to go head-to-head with a sovereign citizen who thinks courtroom magic words can make reality disappear. And let me tell you, this guy is in way over his head. The moment he opens his mouth, you can already tell we're in for trouble. He introduces himself with a string of gibberish, something about being a beneficiary sovereign here on fraud minutes, whatever that means. He's stumbling over his words, trying to sound like a legal scholar, but all he's really doing is wasting everybody's time.
All right, on the telephone ending in 1336, tell us your name, please.
I come in sui juris.
Only one of you actually has that phone number, and the other people are just wrong about what their phone number is. Who's calling ending in 1336?
Sui juris and personal persona. I'm Stephen hyphen Tyrell colon White comma beneficiary and sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace, and duress. Fiduciary Daniel Williams Norbeck.
Okay, Mr. White, we're going to pop you over in the waiting room because you're just going to be a distraction for all the citizens here willing to abide by the laws of our country. So we'll pop you over in the waiting room and we'll get back to you. In case you guys have ever heard of the term sovereign citizen in the news, that's what one of them sounds like when they try to come to court.
Now the judge, calm, firm, straight to business. He tries to explain the charges. Driving while license suspended. Pretty simple. Punishable by up to 93 days in jail or a $500 fine. Nothing All
right, Mr. White, are you able to hear me?
Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to read this to you so you understand what you're charged with. This says that on January 7th of this year on 2nd Street there in the city of Fenville, that you were driving while license suspended. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs. You understand your charge?
Objection, Your Honor. I do not. I do not understand my charges or
okay. I'm going to mark you down as not guilty, and we'll set you for a jury trial. You can continue to.
Your Honor. Your Honor. You practice in front of bench. You practice in front of bench. That's my job or my attorney job. I'm sui juris. I'm propria person.
Okay, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense. It means nothing in a court of law. So if you're not willing to state that you even understand or recognize the authority of the court, my options are I can make you come in for arraignment and not give you a PR bond, and then you'll have to post bond to not sit in jail. You want to do it that way instead? Right now, if I get through arraignment with you, I'll give you a PR bond. Mr. White?
I don't listen. I'm asking you a question.
What's the question, sir?
I'm not arguing with you, Your Honor. I just want you to hear me. I just want you to hear me.
Okay, but I don't want to listen for 20 minutes. Go ahead and ask your one question, and we'll start there and see if it's a real question.
Am I on the record?
Yes.
It's not going to take 20 minutes, Your Honor. I give you my word.
Well, you said you have a question, sir. What's the question you want to ask?
Is this criminal or is it civil?
This is criminal, sir. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fines and costs.
Hey, if it's criminal, can I ask to dismiss the charge?
But does Mr. White accept reality? Of course not. He immediately objects. Says he doesn't understand the charges. So what does the judge do? Marks him down as not guilty, sets him for a jury trial, and gives him a chance to move forward. But instead of taking the lifeline, our sovereign citizen doubles down. He interrupts, rambles about practicing law in front of the bench, and calls himself a sui juris propria, or something out of a Facebook legal forum. And the judge, without missing a beat, looks him dead in the eye and says, Mr. White, I don't know where you read the stuff.
Because at this point, the prosecutor, There's no sworn testimony. There's no sworn.
It's because this is just arraignment, sir. What you're talking about is trial. That would be several steps down the road. Arraignment is just for you to make sure that you understand what you're accused of, what the penalty is, and for you to enter a plea. You're accused of driving while license suspended. I read to you what the possible penalties are, and I asked you if you wish to plead guilty or not guilty at this time.
No, Your Honor, I'm a beneficiary and I'm a sovereign. I'm here under fraud, menace,
sir. Those sentences don't mean anything. They have no legal meaning whatsoever.
It's guaranteed by
so
my constitutional
I've indicated that since you can't understand arraignment, I've entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I've set you for a jury trial. You can represent yourself free of charge, or you could hire an attorney. And now you must make a choice, sir, for bond. If we get through the arraignment with you on Zoom, I'm going to give you a PR bond, personal recognizance bond. That means you don't have to post any money. We're essentially trusting you that you'll keep coming back for your court dates. It is no driving without a valid driver's license. If you cannot get that far, in other words, if you really don't understand what's happening here, then I'm not going to allow you to be arraigned by Zoom. I'm going to set you for arraignment in person. And you will come to this courthouse. You will not get a PR bond. You will get a $300 cash or surety bond, meaning that you will need to post $300 in cash, or you will sit in jail from that day until your trial date. So I'll give you a choice. Do you want to be arraigned over Zoom like we're doing today, or would you like to come in and be arraigned in person?
Well, I object to all of this, Your Honor, because at this point, I don't even understand the charges. I do not understand the charges. I'm not trying to.
That's fine. No, sir, you're allowed to, sir. You're allowed to object, and I understand your sentence that you don't understand the charges. And so I will attempt to work with you for that for a second. I'm going to read the charges to you, okay? This says that it takes place on January 7th of this year. You understand that, right? The date that I just read.
I'm saying I do not. At this point, Your Honor, it's I was saying this. It was a jurisdiction matter. It's a jurisdiction matter. That's what I'm saying. It's a subject matter jurisdiction.
Here's the problem with you arguing jurisdiction. I am a lawyer, so I understand what jurisdiction means. I'm not sure you do.
Stuff that you're saying, but it's legal nonsense. That's when things start to spiral. The judge offers him a choice: cooperate now and get a PR bond, or keep wasting time and risk posting $300 cash just to stay out of jail. And you can see it. Mr. White thinks he's winning. He keeps objecting, keeps claiming jurisdiction issues, and repeating his favorite phrase, "I travel, I don't drive." Folks, let me be clear. Telling a judge you travel instead of drive is like telling a cop you don't steal. You just borrow permanently. It's nonsense, and it never works. By this point, the judge has lost all patience. He lays it out in plain English. Either Mr. White gets arraigned properly over Zoom and gets a break, or he comes into court in person, posts $300 cash.
The accusation is that you're driving around on 2nd Street in the city of Fenville, meaning in Allegan County, and that you're doing so when your driving privileges with Secretary of State have been suspended or revoked. Because this is the county. Yes?
Objection. I travel. I don't drive.
Okay.
I have no contact.
Sir, here's what we're doing, Mr. White. You are no longer able to be arraigned by Zoom. What I'm going to do is adjourn this. I'm going to adjourn this, and you will get notice at your address there. You will come in, and we will arraign you in person. I'm telling you that I'm not going to give you a personal recognizance bond, sir.
It has to be. Before we can proceed,
White,
before you can proceed, there has to be a address, Your Honor.
Because we are on the record, I'm going to make this infinitely clear. You're going to get notice to appear in front of me. You have two choices. If you do not appear, I'm going to put out a bench warrant for your arrest. If you do appear, We will have this conversation again about arraigning you to see if you understand the charges, but you are not getting a PR bond. You will need to bring with you $300 cash or surety, or you will be in jail. Do you understand those two options, A and B?
That's a violation of my constitutional rights, Your Honor.
Well, no, it isn't, sir. So we're all set for today. We're done talking. We cannot make any progress. You will be asked to come in person for arraignment. You can either choose to come in for arraignment or you can choose to not be here. If you choose to not be here, a warrant will be entered for your arrest. And if you do choose to be here, make sure you bring that $300 because you're not getting a personal recognizance bond. But we are done with this hearing. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
When's my date for court?
Or sits in jail until trial. Two choices. That's it, and does Mr. White accept it? Of course not. He whines about constitutional violations while the judge calmly reminds him, "No, it isn't, sir. Game over." But here's the best part. This hearing isn't finished yet. Because Mr. White, in true sovereign citizen fashion, keeps pushing, and the judge, cool as ever, is about to drop the hammer. So after giving him every chance to get through this arraignment, the judge has had enough. Mr. White keeps repeating the same tired script. Jurisdiction. I travel, not drive. Beneficiary sovereign. As if saying the words over and over is going to magically erase his suspended license. The judge doesn't raise his voice, doesn't take the bait. Instead, he delivers one of the most professional reality checks I've seen in a courtroom. He tells Mr. White flat out, "You're not getting a personal recognizance bond. You're either showing up in person with $300 cash or you're sitting in jail. Period. End of discussion." And Mr. White? He tries to wiggle out one last time. He cries about his constitutional rights being violated. But the judge shuts him down with just 5 words. "No, it isn't, sir. That's it." No lecture, no debate. Just a clean finish. Then comes the final blow. The judge explains crystal clear. If you don't show up, I'll issue a bench warrant for your arrest. If you do show up, bring your $300 or prepare for a jail cell. Those are the only options. And you can see it on Mr. White's face. He thought this was going to be some grand legal victory. Instead, he just walked himself straight into handcuffs if he doesn't comply. The kicker? After all that, after the judge carefully laid out every detail, Mr. White still asks, "When's my court date?" Folks, he wasn't listening to a single word. He was too busy clinging to his script of nonsense phrases, completely ignoring the fact that his future is hanging by a thread. And that's what always blows my mind about sovereign citizens. The court practically hands them a way out. Pay a fine, take a class, move on with your life. But instead, they fight imaginary battles and end up making things 10 times worse. What's the end game? To prove a point? Because all they ever prove is how fast a judge can shut them down. In the end, this wasn't just a legal hearing. It was a perfect lesson in what happens when delusion meets reality. The law doesn't bend for fairy tales, and Mr. White, he just got reminded the hard way.